What's up guys, Random Racer here with another tech video for you guys today. And today I bring you guys a very unique iPhone case, the Boxwave Keyboard Buddy case for the iPhone 4 and 4S. This case was sent for review, so of course I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Boxwave for sending me one of their amazing products. And of course, without further ado, let's slice this thing open, see what we get, slap it on the iPhone, and give you guys my full in-depth review. Taking a quick look at the packaging here, as you guys see here, it's pretty standard packaging with the iPhone displayed on the front here. Fits both the iPhone 4 and 4S. And of course on the back here, it gives you some specs and what this case has to offer. And also is available in a black edition. To open the case, all you have to do is pop the top flap open and slide out the packaging itself. You also have an included manual here which shows you what all the buttons do, as well as how to initialize the keyboard and connect it with the iPhone and some other troubleshooting information. So here's the case itself. Also included is the micro USB cable here to charge the keyboard, which you can use to plug into the iPhone charger or the USB port on your computer. On the inside of the case here, we have instructions on how to install the iPhone. It's pretty simple. You just snap your iPhone in like any standard snap-on style case. Of course, on the bottom here shows you what the ports are on the case itself. You have the on and on switch, the Bluetooth pairing button, as well as the charging port. Before installing any case, make sure your iPhone is free of dust and debris. Grab the case itself. I usually go button side first, and then snap your case in. It's a very nice and snug fit, and your iPhone is definitely not going to come out anytime soon. Alright, so a little quick overview of the case itself and what it has to offer. First off, the entire front of the iPhone, of course, is exposed. You do have a bit of what people call lay on the table design, where the case does lip over the iPhone just a little bit so iPhone doesn't actually make contact with the surface of the table. On the top side here, we have a large opening for the headphone jack, secondary microphone, as well as the power button. The entire right side here is all covered up. We also have a large opening for the microphone, speakerphone, and 30-pin connector, and of course a large cutout for the volume keys as well as the ringer and vibrate switch. On the back of the case, we also have a large cutout for the camera and flash, and also is lined with black trim to prevent any flashovers when you're using the flash on the iPhone. And of course, it's both cutout on the keyboard as well as the case itself, so you can use it with or without the case, or without the keyboard slid on. Of course, we finally have the Boxwave logo imprinted on the back here. The entire case, as well as the back of the keyboard cover here, also is lined with a very nice soft touch coating. It's very smooth to the touch and definitely gives you an extra premium feel when you're using this particular case and keyboard all in one. To sync the keyboard up with the iPhone, the keyboard uses Bluetooth 2.0 technology, so it's pretty simple to hook this thing up. First off, go to settings on your iPhone, go to Bluetooth, turn the Bluetooth switch on, and your Bluetooth will start searching for discoverable devices. Go to your keyboard here and turn on the keyboard via the on switch here. And next, grab a SIM eject tool that came with your iPhone or a toothpick, something pointy like this, and hit the pairing button here. You only need to do this once, so you don't have to worry about using this all the time. And next, you have a Bluetooth indicator light here to show that it is trying to pair with the iPhone. Tap the Bluetooth wireless keyboard, and the iPhone will request you to type 4 numbers on the keyboard to pair it. Now, just keep in mind this only needs to be done once, so you don't have to do this all the time when you fire up the keyboard. So in my case, it's 6804, so we'll just punch that in. 6804 and hit enter. And once you've done that, as you guys can see, the keyboard is fully connected to the iPhone. Taking a look at the keyboard itself, the keyboard is a chiclet style landscape type keyboard, very similar to Apple's own touchscreen keyboard in landscape mode. It features a full QWERTY layout with secondary buttons for such as numbers, brackets, punctuation marks, all those sorts of stuff. To activate them, all you have to do is hit the function key here to activate all those secondary keys, and to deactivate them, you just hit it again to have your main QWERTY setup main layout. The keyboard also features a lot of extras, which makes it a little bit more worthwhile when using the iPhone. For example, you have the lock switch here as well, so instead of hitting the power button on the top here, if you're say on the home screen and you want to lock your iPhone, you can just hit it like so, and it shuts off. Taking a look at the other buttons here, we also have the home button here, so you double tap this, you can activate the home controls, or if you're in an application, you can hit the home button, it takes you back to a home screen, same function as the home button built on the iPhone. There's also a keyboard button here, so say if you're notes application or texting and you want to, for some reason, open the touchscreen keyboard here, you can hit that to close it or hit that to open it. So you have, I guess, 2 keyboards here to play around with. There's also a control button, alt button, and the control button is very useful. For example, if you want to undo something, you can hit, just like a computer, hit Control Z, or copy and paste, Control C, or Control V to paste. And of course, all these controls are listed on that guide that it's included with the packaging. Another cool extra feature is brightness control. So you can manually set the brightness on the keyboard itself without having to go to the settings. So just hit the function key here and press the top and bottom arrows to manually adjust the brightness. You can actually skip the unlock screen straight on the keyboard and go straight to the home screen or whatever your last application was open. So if you just hit any key on the keyboard here, it goes straight to my calendar app, as you guys can see here. One of the notable features about this particular case is that it's also backlit. So if you hit any button on the keyboard, you guys can see here the keyboard keys light up very nicely, which is definitely a nice added touch for a low light environment or for those of you who like to type in a lot of dark situations. You can also turn the backlit keyboard function off by hitting the function key here, as well as the backlit button. It turns it off automatically. Overall guys, my first impressions on the keyboard case is very positive. It's actually been a few days since the initial part of this video, and after using the keyboard for a few days, I can definitely see why a lot of people still like physical keyboards on mobile phones. Unlike a touchscreen keyboard where everything's all flat, a physical keyboard gives you the tactile feedback as well as the feel of the keys of where everything is, and also the confirmation that you actually did press the key. I will admit though, I do type a lot more faster on the iPhone touchscreen keyboard than this physical keyboard, but then again, I've only been using this for a few days. I can definitely see why a lot of people, especially BlackBerry users, just fly on these physical keyboards, especially when texting and emailing. Unlike physical keyboards, touchscreen keyboards still lack the ability to feel the keys as well as the tactile feedback when you press a button here. Generally with physical keyboards, because of the feel of the keys as well as the feedback they get from them, it generally makes sense that a lot more people type a lot more faster and more accurately than a touchscreen keyboard, hence why BlackBerries and some other smartphones are still popular. Alright, so here's a little quick example of me actually type on the keyboard here, and I'm actually going to type the first sentence there, so just give you guys a little quick idea of how well I've done over the past few days. But anyways, here's an example of Random Razor typing on the the Boxwave keyboard buddy case. Alright, so let's type on the keyboard. I did screw up, but nonetheless, the idea is, it's experience. The more you use this keyboard, the better you get at it. And trust me, a lot of people with physical keyboards just fly on these. But anyways, I definitely have to say my experience with typing on this keyboard is a lot more improved than a few days ago. In terms of any changes or cons of this particular case, well, the one thing I don't like about this keyboard is the function key. And the one thing I change with it's more of a software-based issue, but when you hit the function key, it locks you onto all the secondary keys. But I think a better way to do this is when you hit the function key, you can only allow to hit one secondary button. So once you hit it, it will automatically go to the standard layout. But if you double tap the function key, it can lock you in. So for example, if you want to type in a bunch of numbers, that's in that case would be very useful to lock it. So for me, I always use a lot of punctuation marks, exclamation marks, question mark, brackets, all that stuff. And having to press it again to unlock it's a little bit inconvenient, but that's just my personal preference. The only con I'd say with this particular case and what it does is mainly the price. It does retail on Boxwave's own website for $79.95, which I believe that's on sale right now with $10 off. You might find a better deal on Amazon or eBay, but nonetheless, it's a little bit pricey for what it is. But you do get the physical keyboard that a lot of people, do miss from the previous era of, you could call pre-smartphones, before all the touchscreens and stuff. But yeah, it's a little bit pricey, but for what it is, you definitely get what you pay for. It has a 2-week battery life, full QWERTY layout, and it's a pretty awesome case, very streamlined, and I think Boxwave has done a pretty amazing job in designing this case to minimize the bulk that it adds and just keep the overall sleek look of the iPhone. Anyways, the Boxwave keyboard buddy case is definitely a case I recommend. As I mentioned earlier, it's a pretty awesome case for what it is, and it's not just a case for functionality, but you can also show this off as pretty much all, well, not pretty much, but all iPhones don't have this, which is of course a physical keyboard. Although this case does retail a little bit more than the average case available on the market, it can be definitely worth every penny for those of you who want a better typing experience or for those of you who missed the physical keyboards available in the pre-smartphone touchscreen era. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed my video review of the Boxwave Keyboard Buddy Case Winter White Edition for the iPhone 4 and 4S. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button on top there, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace!